Hello and welcome to using IIF statements. I'm going to be using a lot of terminology that I've used in a previous video on using formulated fields. If you haven't watched the video yet, I highly recommend watching that video first on our support portal. Now jumping into IIF statements. An IIF statement is going to say if an item is true or false, do a specific action. That may not sound very powerful at first, but if you combine multiple IIF statements together, you can get a pretty large output and do a lot of specialty formulations with a lot of our data. So I'm going to go ahead and jump into this. I'm already in my SQL data source used on a previous video for my department employee names grouped by department. So as of right now, I'm already over here into my field list, and I've already dropped down my list of fields for my employee view. I'm going to go ahead and add a new formulated field by clicking on that center button, and I'm going to name this one IIF Demo just to keep things simple. And then now that I have a name, I'm going to go ahead and edit my expression. Once in my expression editor, I want to go and find my IIF function. In order to do that, I have this list of different functions down here. As soon as you click on function, you're going to have a search bar up top. I will just type in IIF, and I get my statement here. Now, if you select your IIF statement, you'll have a quick set of text here that's going to explain exactly what that statement does. I want to point out one thing here, that this function can accept any number of arguments. So I can keep putting in the same IIF statement and have as many arguments for if true or if false as I want. For our first demo here, we're just going to do one, so I'm going to click on the IIF and it will drop the formulated field in here. Now, as I mentioned in my previous video, you'll get this little X here if the statement is not correct. So as of right now, the statement is blank, so it's not going to work. So since I'm only pulling in first name and last name and department, I'm going to write a condition that if a first name is equal to a specific value, put true or false. I know I have a employee in my database named Damon, so I'm going to use that name. So I want to say that if my first name, in order to find my field, I want to click on my fields list here and grab my first name. If you wanted to be doing this a little faster, you can also type in a bracket and then type in first name. So my first name is equal to, and then I have to use my single quotes to identify what I'm looking for. And in single quote to show that I want my first name to equal Damon. Now, if this is true, I want to just put in true. Remember that if you're wanting to output a specific value or output a string of text, you do have to put these single quotes on there, or else you will still get an error. And then if this is false, I'm just going to put in false. Now, as soon as I close that out, you're going to see that that X goes away, and I will go ahead and save this. So as of right now, I've already dropped this field in here, but I'm just going to drop it one more time. And now that it's dropped in there, I'm going to preview this to show you what this looks like. So I have two employees with the first name Damon. Both of them show as true, and then anyone with the name other than Damon is currently showing false. Now, if I go back into my formula editor, I can add another IIF statement on top of the one I already have. So I'm going to open up my expression editor here, and then instead of false, if the name is not Damon, I'm going to insert another IIF. So I'll go back into my functions here and double click IIF, and it's going to add another function in. Now, if my first name is going to be Gal, which I'll use the brackets now, so first name equals Gal, I want you to say girl, and then if not, we're just going to keep this as false. And then I'm going to go ahead and save this and then preview the report again. In this preview, you're going to see that my gal here has a name under here as girl, and then my other one that is boy is still set to false. And you can keep going with these. So if I wanted to add another condition for if the first name is equal to boy, then put boy, otherwise put false, I can do that, but I don't have any other data here to show you that false statement. And that is going to be how you use an IIF statement within ad hoc reporting. Now, if you have any other formulated fields or other types of formulas that you want to use or have examples for, you can always request a customized webinar for ad hoc reporting through our support portal.